JD always says that when we work together, we cause trouble. So I'll try not to be too troublesome tonight in the 5 minutes that I have. But I did want to mention the Science and Entertainment Exchange because I think that's relevant to this evening's topic. The exchange, for those of you who do not know, was created in late 2008, and essentially it is meant to be the bridge between the science and engineering community and the entertainment industry, primarily in Hollywood, although we do spend some time in New York as well, since there is an entertainment community there also. I think that the easiest way to describe the program is 1-800-I-NEED-A-SCIENTIST. And my colleague in California who runs the program, who is sort of the boots on the ground there, always says, no, it's 844-NEED-SCI, because that's the actual toll-free number. So you can actually dial that and get to a scientist who essentially acts as a science consultant. Most of the big box office movies that have had anything to do with science, we've usually had something to do with. Yes, even San Andreas, we consulted on that. Yes, the science was not good. We can acknowledge that. But I will tell you that an NAS member did consult on that, and there was more conversation around earthquake science, earthquake safety. We saw that there was a professor from, I think it was the University of Washington, who created a 2-minute video on the real story of earthquake science. He got something like 800,000 downloads in 3 days because of the bad science in San Andreas. So it isn't always about the absolutely accurate science that appears in film and television, because the most important thing to grab somebody's attention, I think, is that first it has to be entertaining. And so we've been looking at ways to sort of spread our wings and think about how we can work with people in the theater, because there's more ways to entertain people than just by looking at a screen, whether that's in a movie theater or whether that's in your lap or on your phone. There's a lot of ways to be entertained in the theater. And so JD and I have actually begun to explore that. Some of you in this room were part of that early conversation. And we're actually trying to talk to some people about getting some funding, about thinking about having those conversations, to think about the ways that we could provide expertise to people who are writing for the theater or who people doing other kinds of artistic expression where science could find its way into that kind of entertainment. And then we'd like to also do events that bring the kinds of scientists that we know who are doing incredibly interesting work that could inspire new entertainment narratives. That sometimes we are very reactive. People call us, they ask us a question, we answer that. But we also try to be very proactive. When we know about people doing really interesting work, it's about putting those people in front of them and saying, hey, maybe you didn't know about this, but. And when in the dramatic thing that we saw with the silos, it's about bringing those silos together in new and interesting ways. And it's also about the depiction of those characters. We were having that conversation before, that sometimes writers, they're often told, write what you know. And they may not know a scientist or an engineer. And so what they know is what they've seen on a screen before, and what was that based on, and it was some stereotype that we don't know really where it started. So we try to introduce the people who are writing these narratives to today's scientists and engineers to change that conversation in the future. So we're really glad that JD puts these kinds of conversations together, and that we have an opportunity to think about how we can affect what we're doing at the Science and Entertainment Exchange. So I'm looking forward to this evening, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Anna.